Hello friends, welcome to the session. So before we proceed, I do have a simple question for you. The letter which I have written on the board, how do we spell? Well, if you are pronouncing it as a acronym or word, then you are wrong. So this word is an initialism. It is not an acronym. So it will always spell with the individual letter. That's SAP. So SAP, if I go with the definition of SAP, SAP, it is a business application. There are the two different definition of SAP. SAP is a business application, and the second definition of SAP, it is an ERP software. We also say it as an ERP software. So before I proceed with the SAP, let's discuss the background of what the ERP. What exactly the ERP? So ERP is not any physical tool. It is a concept. Based on that, many applications or many tools are functioning in the market. Now, what is the meaning of ERP? So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource and the Planning. Now, what is the meaning of enterprise? It is nothing but any company or organization. For example, VW, nothing but the Volkswagen. It is one of the organization. It's a automobile. It belongs to automobile industry. Similarly, Skoda, it is also an industry or the company or the organization. It is also belongs to the automobile industry. If I go with the Tata Motors, if I go with the IBM, if I go with the HCL, these are the part of organization or these are the part of company. Of course, these organizations are meant for maintaining the business. It could be anything. Business means what? The purchase activity, the sales activity, the financial activity. HR is also part of business process. Then warehouse related activity, transportation related activity. Now these company are meant for managing some work like business activity we can say. Now to manage this activity, we need some minimum resources. The very first minimum resources is what? Infrastructure. Even though if you want to set up your own business, if you want to set up your own organization, if you want to start your own startup, what is the basic need? The very first basic need, you do have the proper infrastructure setup. It means you do have a well structured office, you do have all the furniture in your place, you do have proper water supply, electricity supply, you do have proper internet connections over there, you do have proper transportations availability like the road infrastructure I can say. Then next comes to the employees. Of course, under you some employees are required. Even though if you go with the like existing organization, they also do have some set of employees to run their business. Then most important thing is the money. So these are the part of so resources. So very first, the infrastructure, then machinery, then employees are required. Then for all those things, the most important thing is the investment, right? Of course, every organization will be having the investors, maybe the owner itself. Sometimes, if you're running your own startup, if you are only the owner, then of course you're going to invest from your side. And if it is a like a group of people, and of course they're having some investors. Now the third thing is the planning. Now leave about the organization level. In your day-to-day routine also you're having the proper planning. So why we are going to do the planning? The day should run properly. The whatever task you have set yourself, get the task done. For that you are going to do the planning. Suppose you are planning for the vacation also. In that case you are going to do the planning. What is the use of that planning? Why we are going to do the planning? So with the minimum time, you are going to visit the maximum places and unnecessary avoiding the time in the transit, unnecessary avoiding the money which you are spending, right? So if you are running the business, the most important thing is time equals to money. the time, the more importance you're going to give the time, that much money you're going to earn. Same way, the planning is the most important thing in your personal life also, and if you're working for any industry, right? So we always do the planning for every task for the successful implementation. And what with this, what will happen? With the minimum investment, you will get the maximum profit. Now, what is the meaning of minimum investment? As I told you that if you are going for the vacation, if you're going for the vacation, so in the route, suppose if you're planning for a source to destination. Now, if you do have the proper planning, within that route, you can visit the multiple places, right? That is a part of, with the same amount, you're seeing the multiple places. Now, if you're not able to manage the time, then it's very hard and you are going to cover only one place. It's very difficult for, right? That's the reason we always have the proper planning. And the same will be applicable to the industry level. Now here ERP, it is not any physical tool. This is a concept, somewhat guidelines. Now based on these guidelines, based on this concept, many tools are functioning in the market. For example, you might heard about the tally. The tally, so this is a guidelines or we can say the structure. It is your guidelines or we can say the structure. It is not any physical tool, right? So you might heard about the tally. So Tally 9 is the best ERP software. Tally 9 is the best ERP software which will support your financial activity. Business means what? You do have purchase related process, you do have sales related process, you do have financial related process, and each level you need to manage your data. Now, if you go in your day starts with, of course, tea. Then you do require the milk. Of course, you visit the provisional shop to bring the tea. And as a customer, we are purchasing something from them. And as a shopkeeper, he is selling something to us. After purchase or after sales, you need to make a payment. Now, usually, if you go with the provisional, like the nearby shopkeeper around your society, of course, he also need to manage the data. Even your personal life also, if you are spending some amount, of course, you're going to make a register with you. You're going to like manage all your expenditure. Same way, at the industry level also, they also need to manage the data. And for this, already there are many tools in the market which will support your business activity. So one of the ERP tool is finance. Similarly, we do have Zero. This also support the financial activity. We do have Oracle NetSuite. This is also ERP software which will support your business activity. And this is especially for, again, finance related. So similarly, we do have Sage Intact. So this is going to support your sales and the inventory. So we do have different tools which is working in the market and all are going to be based on the ERP platform. These are the ERP platform. And one of them is SAP. I will consider all this software in the non-SAP side, and the tool which we are about to discuss is SAP. Now I will come to the point why we are going to spell it as an individual letter instead of looking it as an acronym or the word. So SAP stands for System, Application and Product in Data Processing. System, Application and Product in data processing. Now again, what is the meaning of system? Now your mobile phone, it is also one of the system. Your laptop, it is also a system. What is the meaning of system? System is a combination of software component which contains some hardware component. It will also contain some network component. So every system contains a part of software, hardware and the networking. Even SAP is also a part of system. It also contains some set of software, hardware and the networking part. Next comes with the application. Now the general definition of application is what? In your mobile phone you do have the different apps. That application, in short, we can call it as a apps also. Like you do have the Facebook Messenger, you do have WhatsApp, you do have Instagram. In that also we do have the Messenger. Or if you go with the business wise, you do have the Amazon app, you do have the Flipkart. What these apps means for? These are meant for processing the data. The data could be anything. It's your personal, it's personal chat, maybe the business related. But of course, ultimately, these applications are being used to process the data. It could be any kind of data. So applications are nothing but a series of screens or a sequence of screen. Each screen contains some set of fields. So end user. So of course we are going to become an end user only. If you are using the WhatsApp, that has been developed by someone else, but we are all going to become the end user. So the applications are nothing but a sequence of screen or a series of screen which contains some set of fields. User is going to interact with those screen fields. And finally, if you click on save or enter, if you go with the Amazon app, if you click on proceed checkout, it's going to save the data in respect to database tables, right? So SAP is a business application. I will come to that point. The first definition of SAP. SAP is a business application. So application, I will cover that business later point of time. The application. So he has designed many standard applications. Those applications will support your business activity. So that is what we can call as a business application. Now what is the meaning of business? So business are your purchase related. So purchase is one of the business process. Purchase, then sales, then finance, then we do have warehouse, then we do have production planning, nothing but the manufacturing. Even HR, it's also one of the business process. Now you can ask me, purchase is a single word. What we are going to do in that? How SAP is going to support with this? See, for we, purchase might be a single word. If you go with the industry level, not in the industry level, even your day-to-day routine also, if you observe it, like if you observe that word purchase, you do have many hierarchy level. For example, if you want to purchase something, like suppose I want to buy a new phone, maybe iPhone, maybe if you want to buy the new laptop, or maybe it can be anything. So you're going to visit the Amazon app, you're going to visit the Flipkart. So if you just look at the 10 years back, 15 years back, we need to visit the shop physically. We don't have that e-commerce generation. The e-commerce generation is 20th century, like after 2020, I can say. But before that, if you go with the 2010 or 2005, then in that situation, you don't have that much of internet connectivity available. You don't have that much of e-commerce business are available. But now it's everything is on one touch. Everything is on one touch. Now, if I enter into that purchase process, if you look at into the hierarchy level, like the first thing is what when you will visit the shopkeeper or when you will visit the Amazon, it doesn't mean that I'm getting bored. I want to see the Amazon. That is rarely happen, but you will visit the shop or you will visit the Amazon app only when if you want to purchase something, right? So that is a part of your wish list. Like suppose if you're searching for something and if you like suppose if you do have the confusion in the multiple product, what you're going to do? You're going to save that product for the future reference. That is a part of wish list. You will visit the Amazon, you will visit the local shopkeeper only when if you want to purchase something. That we can call as a purchase requisition. In terms of SAP or in terms of your general process, if you look at the outside, that like what you needed for yourself or what you needed for your department or what you needed for your organization, that we can call as a purchase requisition. I'm just giving some simple scenario. Of course, we are going to have some brief about this purchase process, sorry, all the business process while discussing in future. Just I'm giving some brief about how the business activity is running. And based on that business activity, how SAP is helpful for your day-to-day routine. So if you look at the purchase, if you enter into the purchase department, so for me, the purchase is a single word, but if you look into that purchase, you do have the different hierarchy level. For example, as we discussed, you will visit the shop only when if you want to purchase something. And you know all what do you want to purchase. That is a part of purchase requisition. You will visit the shop only when if you want to purchase something. You are clear what you needed. That is a part of purchase requisition. Suppose if you are dependent, of course we are dependent on our family, parents, and before you want to purchase something, you need to take a permission. Although you are a like, if you are a working professional, still you cannot take a decision, right? At least you're going to consult your parents. Suppose I want to purchase a two-wheeler, I want to purchase a four-wheeler. You need to take a permission, right? Similarly, if you're working for any organization and if you need something to fulfill your day-to-day task, it doesn't mean that you're spending the amount from your pocket. It is not like that. You just need to request to the department. You do have a separate department which will fulfill your activity, like if you want to purchase something for your organization. So that is a part of your purchase department, and we are going to request for quotation through that department. It means we directly never go to the shop. If you're working for any organization or if you are dependent on your parent, if you need something directly, you cannot go to the shop to purchase something. First, you need to go to your parents, you need to take the permission, and through them, you are going to visit the shops. Same wise, if you needed something for your department, or if you're working for an organization and if you need something, through the purchase department, you need to purchase something. So through them, you need to request for quotation. What is the meaning of quotation? Suppose if you're visiting the shop, before you buy the product, you're going to inquire yourself warranty, validity, product quality, and you are going to look for the pricing, right? You are going to do the bargaining. Many things matter. That is a part of quotation. Like if you want to purchase a two-wheeler or the four-wheeler, like in one go, you cannot purchase a vehicle. You're going to visit the multiple showrooms. Just tally the pricing, concession, offer, and of course, they are going to provide you the details in the format of some documentation. Sometimes they will go with the orally, but if it is in like a more like it is a pricing related things, like especially the four wheeler, of course you do have the quotation and they are going to provide in return what is the ex showroom price, what will be the RTO, what will be the insurance, what are the free accessory we are going to give, what are the accessories you need to make a payment, so on. And they are going to provide complete in details. That is a part of documentation we are requesting, and they are going to provide the quotation to you. And based on that, you are going to finalize one of them and you're going to raise the order. That is a part of purchase order. I'm not saying that it is related to the SAP. It is a general process. If you look at in your real life also, you need to go through all this activity. Then once you raise the order, you need to sit back. Suppose nowadays, as I say, everything is on the one touch, e-commerce. Even though if you want to purchase a small product also like pen, notebook, you can order it from the Amazon. In the next 24, it will deliver to your doorstep. So you're going to select the product, you're going to add to the cart, you're going to do the checkout. Once done the checkout, that means the order has been created. You'll get the confirmation mail or by message, like your order has been placed. And you'll get the shipment and it will get the delivery, like you can track your shipment. That is also part of business process only, but that comes under the sales. We are discussing about the purchase. So once we raise the order, we will sit back, we will wait for the product to be get delivered. So once that delivery boy comes to your doorstep to deliver the product, you are going to receive the goods. That is a part of goods issue. Even again, this is going to be done from the purchase side only. Sorry, goods receive. Goods receive. So once we have received the goods, you are going to make a payment. Before payment, we are going to verify the invoice. So of course, they are going to submit you the invoice copy. You are going to verify it and you are going to make a payment. That's a part of account payable. Of course, you are going to do all this activity in real time, but we have never observed. Now, the same activity you are going to do in real time for any organization, and for each activity, you need to process the data. You need to manage the data. Now, normally in your personal life, of course, you're going to note down all your expenditure. Even though you are independent, you have to make a note of all your expenditure. What is your income? How much amount you have spent in your day-to-day basis. So at the finally end of the month, you can have some gross total, like what was our total income, what was our like everything. Same way, if you go with the shopkeeper, the local nearby to your society, even he also going to maintain all the day-to-day related, all the activity, and mostly in the pen and the paper. But in real time, the data is very important. Of course, you are going to maintain all the details with the pen and the paper because you are not accountable to anyone. You are not answerable to anyone. And if anything goes wrong with that data, that is not going to affect you. But in real time, the data is very important. So you need to save that data for the future reference. In that situation, you should have your own applications to process the data. You should have your own database to save the data. So this is what SAP is going to help you out. He is helping you out to process all the business related data, and he is providing you the service related to the database to secure your data, right? Now, if you want to do the purchase requisition, request for quotation, we sometimes do it orally or we can do it the pen and the paper. But in real time, if you want to do the same job with any organization level, pen and the paper is not going to be work out. So they have provided the application. So SAP has provided the application. Suppose if you want to do the purchase requisition, SAP has provided the application for that. SAP has already provided the applications to process the data. Once we process the data through that application, it will be stored in respective database table. He has provided the database table as well. If you want to process the request for quotation with the help of SAP tool, even for that SAP has provided the application. And once we process the data, even that data will also get stored in respective database table. See, SAP is a standard business application. Whatever the business activities are available in the market, he's going to support all the activity. He's having the solution for all the business related activity. Now, once we process the data through that application, the data is going to be stored in a respective database table. So he has provided all the standard application. He's going to make it available of you for all the application plus respective database table which is going to store your data. Then if you want to create the purchase order through application like in SAP, SAP has already provided the application, and for that he has already provided the database. Means for each and every business activity he is having the solution, he has provided the application and he has provided the respective database table to store the data. Now the activity which we discuss, the activity which we discuss, this is completely or purely related to the purchase. Now, purchase is a single word for me, but if you enter into that purchase department, you do have the hierarchy level. Purchase requisition, then request for quotation, then purchase order, goods received, invoice verification, account payable. And each level we need to process the data. SAP has provided the application and he has provided the respective database. Now what SAP has done, the business process voice, whatever the total set of application he has given and whatever the set of database table he has given, he has done the grouping of that. Now, the set of applications which we discussed and the set of database table which we discussed, these are related to the only purchase process. Now, all these applications, all this table, he has done the grouping of that. And that group we can call as model in SAP. The grouping of the applications and the database table which is belongs to a specific business process, that grouping we can call as a models. He has introduced in the format of model. So the models are the name is material management. So this model or this group is responsible for handling all purchase related activity, which contains all the set of application and its respective database tables. Similarly, we do have SD, sales and distribution. This model contains all the applications plus database table which are related to the sales process. Similarly, we do have production planning, then we do have finance, controlling, HR, warehouse, so on. SAP is going to support more than 26 plus business. Not only manufacturing, he's going to support all insurance related. He's having the solution for insurance also. He's having the solution for oil and gas, coal. He's having the solution of your Indian post also. So many, I can say around the globe, 70% of industries are using the SAP. If I go with the India, in the Indian railways, Indian post, Indian oil, maybe if you go with the Indian oil, if you go with the HP, BP, everyone using the SAP. Even if you go with the hospitality case also, you can find the SAP. Means he's having the wide base. He's going to support all related business process. So as SAP has already provided with many standard application. So whatever the standard application provided by the SAP, maybe that application is not suitable to your requirement, or maybe that application is not suitable to your end user business requirement, the client which you are working for. In that situation, we are going to develop our own. Either you are working with the standard application or you have developed the custom application. What is the purpose of those applications? To process the business data in real time. That is meaning of SAP, system, application and products in data processing. Now finally we comes to, like as we discussed, SAP is an ERP based on ERP platform. Now based on ERP platform, many the existing tools are functioning in the market. Then is there any competition? Like if it is yes, then how it is different from the existing? Which one is having the highest scope? As I told you that around more than 70%, more than that in the globe are using the SAP. SAP is highly demandable software, highly demandable, and of course the pricing is very high if you go with the license side. There is a reason behind this, and it will make a difference between the non-SAP ERP software and the SAP. SAP is highly demandable because of two reasons. I can say the advantages of SAP. The first advantage is it is an integration of all the business process at one place. Integration of all the business process. What is the meaning of this? If you look at any business, purchase, maybe sales, maybe finance, maybe warehouse, maybe manufacturing, no business can run independently. You cannot say that I want to maintain only purchase. What about finance? You want to sell the things in free of cost? Of course, no. After selling the product, you need to receive the payment. Now, you are meant for only selling, then how you are managing the product? Are you going to manufacture yourself or you are bringing from the wholesaler? If you are purchasing from the wholesaler, then it's a part of purchase. After purchase, you're going to sell the product. After sale, you're going to receive the payment. Or if you purchase something from someone else, you need to make a payment. These are correlated, these are integrated. No business can run independently. But if you go with non-SAP ERP softwares, like we discussed about the Zyro, then we discussed about the Tally 9, we discussed about the Oracle NetSuite, Sage Intact. Now what is, these are the part of non-SAP software. Now what is the difference between the non-SAP and the SAP software? Sorry, non-SAP and the SAP software. So SAP is an integration of all the business process at one place. What is the meaning of this? So if you go with the non-SAP softwares, so they do have the different tool for purchase. They're using a different tool for purchase. Let's assume tool one. There might be different tools in the market. And they're using a different tool for sales. And they are using the different tool for financial activity. Now, as I discussed, no business can run independently. If you purchase, you need to make a payment. If you sell, you need to receive the payment. Now, usually, if you look at, if there are the different department, if you are visiting any business organization, I can say, and there are the different for the purchase, you do have the different counter. After purchase, you do have the different counter for the billing. You know, if you're like if you're doing for the sale, you need to sell it. There is a different counter for the finance. That happens. So usually, what will happen? So there is a different person. There is a different like location department for the purchase. Once they do purchase, they will ask you to go to the finance department to make a payment. And that person is going to transfer all the document to the finance department. A person one is only meant for handling the purchase, and he is requesting you to go to the third desk to do the payment. Now you'll come to the third desk or the different department to do the finance. And he's maybe sometimes they are going to transfer those purchase document manually, so that against that document you're going to make a payment. Or maybe you are handling the sales, and after doing the sale you are requesting for the customer, please go to that finance department to make a payment. and sometimes they used to transfer those documents manually, or sometimes you need to by mail or something. Means it's some complexity. They're having the individual tool for the individual business process. But if you look at the SAP, everything is within the same tool. You no need to handle the different tool. Everything is going to be managed within the same tool. That's the reason we can say it as a integration of all the business process at one place. So this is your central tool for the SAP, and we do have the different business process like MM, SD, production and planning, then finance, then HR, so on. And this is a tool called SAP, right? Now, suppose if you do purchase, like for example, I'm purchasing something and they will request you, sorry, if you go with the non-SAP side, after doing the purchase, they will ask you to go to the finance department to make a payment. In that situation, they need to transfer all the purchase document manually or through by some different way, and against that you are going to make a payment. But here you don't need to switch to the different department or the different tool. Everything is going to be internally integrated. So if you do the purchase, automatically it will connect to the finance department to make a payment against the purchase. So here you can see. It will automatically get connected to the finance department to make a payment against that. If you are doing the sales, if you are doing the sales, then automatically it's going to be connected to the finance department to make a payment against that, right? Suppose if you want to manufacture some product, and of course you need to purchase the raw material, and who will make available of all the raw material, that is the job of MM department again. That will automatically connect it to the MM department, like purchase department, right? And after purchase, automatically it will get connected to the finance to make a payment. Now, after manufacturing the product, you need to sell those product. Now, selling is a part of sales department. Then I'll automatically get connected to the sales department. And after sale, you need to make a payment. That is again get connected automatically to the finance department. So you no need to do handle or any activity externally. That will be remains within the same tool, right? And here, of course, here we are going to discuss about the ABAP. So ABAP is one of the model in SAP which is going to have the technically solution for all the developments. So ABAP is totally a programming part, and that ABAP we can call as a mother of SAP. Why? You know, if you look at any tool in the market, there is a front end and the back end. And most of the front end has been designed on the framework, like maybe the Java, JavaScript, or something different. And the back end, of course, we do have the different database services, Oracle, DB2, Sybase, so on. But SAP is a tool which is totally an independent. He has designed his framework by its own programming language called ABAP. So that is what we are going to discuss in future. That is a part of ABAP, Advanced Business Application Programming, we can say. So ABAP is a mother of SAP. Why? The entire SAP tool is built on its own programming language called ABAP. So ABAP is a programming language. It's an individual language. It's an individual platform. Like Java is a language. It's a platform. Similarly, ABAP is a language or the platform. So based on this language only, they have designed their own tool, SAP. And in SAP, if you want to carry out any development related to the program, then we should go with the ABAP only, and that is what we are going to. We are here to learn the ABAP. And the second reason behind the SAP, why the people are switching toward the SAP, data is highly secured. Now you can ask me, in all the system, data is highly secured. What makes a difference in the SAP? In terms of what we can say that data is highly secured. See, if you store your data in a system, that is for sure outside that system. External resources or the external source cannot access your data. That is for sure. The external people or the external sources will not access, they don't have the access to your database. That is secured from external sources. Now, how about within the SAP, like within the system? Like you do have the 10 administrator peoples, or you do have the 10 people which is working in the same system. It means within the people, anybody can access anybody's data. Like they can easily see the someone else's data, which is working within the same platform. Like outside the system, no one can access your data, that is for sure. But I'm talking about within the system. You do have 10 people, we are working with the same platform, same system. Then, of course, that data is not secured within the 10 people, the administration level. Now, SAP has a solution to secure your data at the administrator level. It means my data should not be visible to all 9 other people's or all respective people's data. I should not be able to see that one. So how it going to be helpful and how that SAP has designed, how the data is secured at the administrator level, that we will see in the concept called system landscape. That is my next session. So in the next session, we do have the architecture, how SAP should look like, what are the set of systems provided by the SAP, what is the history of SAP, when the SAP has launched, and what was the journey of SAP, in what stages it has been evolved. Then we do have the transportation services within the SAP. If you want to carry it out the developed object from one system to another system, how to manage. So that is my next session. Please don't miss out. Thank you for the day and thank you for the watching.